This recently exploited loophole has sent the rugby community nuts. The viral clip circulated just about everywhere and there's a lot of mixed opinions on it. Let's watch the clip and unpack exactly what's happening. Just some context for you, this is England's Premiership, their major domestic club rugby competition. It's a game between Gloucester and Bath, or Bath, leave my Aussie accent alone. Let's watch it. Starts off, box kick by Bath, they're in the blue. Fielded by the winger, returned with a counter kick. Everything normal so far. We got another kick back. And look, I'll pause right there. Now, did you notice that? That moment right there is what's got people quite upset. I believe this is Bath winger Will Muir. He's just standing there, hands in the air, not making any effort to get onside. Now, if you're not sure what he's doing, he's waiting for that Gloucester player to run 5 meters so that he's suddenly deemed onside. Now, that specifically is the loophole that has caused a lot of outrage. When a player runs 5 meters with the ball, everyone's suddenly deemed onside. So instead of running back and trying to be put onside by a teammate or retreating to the offside line, they're simply standing their ground, hands in the air, and waiting for that 5 meter buffer to put them onside. The only other thing is they can't be within 10 meters of the person catching the ball. So there's two things to this. I'll let the rest of the clip play out, but keep an eye out for how Bath's team is putting enormous pressure on the kickers by not retreating. Notice too, they'll start getting closer and closer to a charge down. And you can see that Gloucester aren't rehearsed like Bath. They're still making an effort to get onside and nowhere near as close to putting that kick pressure on. Good game of aerial ping pong this. Now, this is the ironic part here. Actually, no, I jumped the gun. It's coming. A lot of kicking. And here it is. So, eventually a charge down happens, but Gloucester end up with the ball, which was pretty lucky. And that's the clip, 12 consecutive kicks. So why is this such a big talking point? Well, mainly the amount of pressure they're able to pile onto a kicker. And territory in rugby is massive. It's sort of, we've seen it time and time again, the teams with good territory usually end up winning games. They're able to put the odds of getting in good field position significantly in their favour with little effort. It's definitely taking advantage of the laws, but it's also not the first time we've seen it. France's halfback Antoine Dupont has been doing it all year. I saw some news articles about it during the Six Nations earlier in the year, and I didn't really care. Then in the World Cup warm-up against Australia, he probably did it 3 times in the first minute, and it was extremely frustrating to watch. In some of these examples, he's literally going in the opposite direction to every other player on the field. Credit to Antoine Dupont though to read the game so well. In these examples of Will Muir, I guess for a winger it's easier to just park yourself up the field because you're covered by your fullback and the other winger, like those two will drop back. But then for a scrum half to decide whether he's needed at a breakdown 50 meters backfield or whether he can stay up to pressure the kicker because he's just ahead of the play is pretty special. Now with the eyes of the entire rugby world on this clip, it could get pretty out of hand. Get that thing out of your hand. Imagine teams start using this tactic to set up mini walls in front of the opposition where they're probably going to catch the ball. They can take away any counter-attacking opportunity from the opposition because they're going to be that much closer as a defensive line. We could also get into this weird space where people just decide not to move with the ball. So no defenders are put onside and the game's practically frozen for a small period of time. Who knows, it could get pretty weird. Kicking drills can be awesome these days though, and they're nowhere near as bad as they used to be. I guess the main downside of the law is that you can just park yourself on the field and be really lazy with your efforts. But it's also part tactical. It's always hard to come up with a solution for rugby laws because every action has a Newton's law reaction, you know what I'm trying to say. But I guess for this case in particular, if the defender's always in a state of retreating towards the onside line, I guess I would let kicking drills stay in the game as much as they are still, but also have that opportunity for a counter attack and probably please both audiences. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.